Hello everyone, my name is Dan and I'm a Fast Athlete Ambassador. And today we're going to talk a little bit about breath, how we breathe, and how we can use our breath to change our physiological state, especially from a stressed or anxious state to a stress-free or calm state. So we're going to keep it as simple as possible. If you have any questions, you can leave a question in the comments or you can direct message me and I can help you in any way that I can. When we're kids, we're taught that we breathe in oxygen and breathe out CO2. And this is true. But there's often a misconception, and one that I believed when I was a kid, that you want to get rid of all the CO2 and it's toxic and we want nothing to do with it. But truthfully, we need that CO2 because the presence of the CO2 in our blood helps release the oxygen from the hemoglobin and then allows our body to efficiently use the oxygen the way we need it. So how we breathe affects this whole process. So you breathe through your mouth or you breathe through your nose. Now I'm just talking today in strictly day-to-day terms. I'm not talking about athletic performance or anything else, just in our day-to-day lives. So when we breathe through our mouth, so if you take a deep breath in, it often feels like we can't get enough air into our lungs, or we can't fully expand our lungs. The air feels cold, sometimes it can irritate people's throat, and your mouth gets dry. So what happens when we breathe in is there's the bronchioles, and at the very end of the bronchioles there's the alveoli. And so what those do, that's the little tiny air sacs, and that's where the exchange of oxygen and CO2 happens, and where the oxygen is then goes into the bloodstream and throughout our body. So when we breathe through our mouth, we can't effectively create the pressure to expand those alveoli. So if you imagine little tiny air sacs that have like a bit of liquid in between them because it's moist in there, it's hard to get them apart. So when we breathe through our mouth, we don't have the air pressure to open those. And so the process often leaves us feeling breathless or like we don't have enough oxygen. And that is actually the case. And when we breathe too much through our mouth, we also off-gas too much CO2. And that is also helps make the process inefficient and doesn't allow the oxygen to be effectively removed from the hemoglobin. So when we breathe through our nose, it moistens and warms the air and it filters the air. But because it's a smaller area that we have to breathe through, it increases the resistance to the pressure, and that increase helps forcefully open the alveoli so that we can effectively exchange the gases in there and remove the oxygen from the hemoglobin so that we can efficiently use the oxygen. So during your day-to-day activities, unless you're talking or you're eating, you should most likely be breathing through your nose for those simple reasons. It's a more efficient process, and it is in the end easier on the system because you're not over breathing or off gassing too much, and you're generally in a more calm and parasympathetic state. So the tool that we're going to use, if you're going into a meeting for work, a meeting with the doctor, a meeting with a teacher about your child, you can be often at a heightened state or a stress state or more anxious. So we're going to use the parasympathetic or physiological sigh. And what that is you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, fully expand your lungs, followed by a quick another inhale through your nose, and then a long exhale through your mouth. And what this is going to do, it's going to rebalance that ratio of oxygen to CO2 in the blood and help keep the process a little bit more efficient and bring you into more parasympathetic state, which is a more calm and relaxed state. So it looks like this. So you're going to go. So you can do that once, you can do it a couple times, and what that's going to do, as I say, is going to bring you to a more a less stressed and less anxious space. And if you can, daily, ideally, if you were to do that for 5 minutes every day, just that little exercise, just repeat it for 5 minutes, that actually teaches your body to breathe through your nose more often and to breathe softer and deeper, which is a more efficient process as well. So that's a simple tool that we can use, a physiological sigh. You can do it once, twice. You can do it through the 5 minutes, as I say, but you should notice a difference in how you're feeling after. And it's a simple tool and a cost-effective free tool that we can use. And at times that we're stressed or we are feeling anxious, to help bring us out of that state so that we can think a little bit more clearly and be in the right state of mind. So again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. You can direct message me. I can provide you with some great books or podcasts that are of this topic and can really help you out in your day-to-day life, and hopefully help reduce some of the stress that we all feel as parents and caregivers of a child or an adult living with AS. So thanks, and have a great day.